Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So here we are again, once more, with the new turn. Now, we can see things haven't exactly gone as we would have hoped. They're not as bad as I feared, though. Not as bad as I feared, which is really quite nice, actually. We can see here, then, of course, the Axis build-up. We see at least 3 SS motorized divisions. Yeah, there's Reich, Viking. So, it does lead me to wonder here. We do need to re-establish our defensive line here. I was hoping this one would have held a little bit longer, but yeah, the sheer amount of force breaking down this barrier is a difficult one to actually really stand against. Now, I have finally been given permission to actually use the AP over here. So we can actually go ahead and assign our divisions and brigades, whatever they may be, to proper commanders. We do also have permission to assign new commanders as well, which is real nice. Okay, so if we take a look at the situation here. Of course, we're not yet built up over here then in terms of any fortifications. We may have to just pull back over here in part. It is going to be a difficult one as, well, thankfully we do have new divisions on their way. It's a very good thing we actually did decide to beef up this section here, which is quite nice. I mean, this is what I was talking about in the last episode. Basically, we beef up this section here, so should the Axis break through, they can't immediately turn off, which they've been unable to do. I don't know about it being so much as lack of ability, more so lack of movement. Though further to the north, along the rest of the Dnieper, things seem to be pretty alright, actually. Okay, we do see Axis forces over here. We have, these divisions, they're not looking too good, are they? Hello there, Olaf, how you doing, my friend? So I think what it may come down to is perhaps we fall back to the Dnieper in proper. We do have a fantastic position here. These marshes are fantastic. Though the thing is Crimea really the critical part here? No, these cities are quite important. We do have additional divisions on their way, thankfully. Another cavalry here. I do have another, and yeah. Okay, so 3 cavalry divisions down here to the south. Nothing much that way. Couple divisions. We do also see 2 tank divisions and motorized. Do I have anything else out here? I do believe that we did send, yeah, we do have some additional cavalry here. I believe these were the forces that were near Chokhlov. Was that Chokhlov? Yeah, Chokhlov. Right, they've definitely come in handy then at this moment here. So let's see what we can do to actually hold the line. As far as we can tell here, the amount of men to the north is actually rather shallow, rather weak. It does lead me to think that perhaps I may take the 13th Tank Division and actually have them sent down here. The reason being that, well, perhaps they could be quite useful. I mean, let's take a look at this. We do, of course, need to cover this. I don't know if they actually hold the city. That's what I'd love to find out, actually. Hello there, Gabriel. How you doing, my friend? Ah, greetings from Brazil. That sounds pretty awesome. I'd imagine it's quite warm there. Right. Now we can actually occupy the city again, which is fantastic. That's quite handy. This city is actually held by Axis forces then. Okay. Right. What I'm going to do here then is potentially just use these brigades then to hold on. We do have some very weak NKVD border forces. They may be just necessary just to at least stop them from immediately rolling over. Perhaps have them on this side of the river or on this side. It's hard to decide, really. What else do we have available? What I'm going to do first and foremost is move these routed forces out of the way, as frankly they're just making things a little bit more difficult than necessary to see what's going on. This tank division would obviously be quite nice to hold on to. Right, move them out of that way. Ideally, they could be reconstituted, but that may not happen for some time. Now, we do hold on to the city here. This one can be retaken, so that's pretty good. Especially as this is a light urban hex, a city on the banks of the river. So that could be a definitive linchpin. Now, I also do have a town here. We have a city on the other side of the river. It's a shame, but it didn't occupy this position here, otherwise that would be an incredibly strong position. Right, the 52nd Tank Division's not yet really ready. I think what we'll do here then for a start is actually just... we need to take a look at how we can reorganize our troops. The difficulty that we have here is that we are kind of lacking on calls to a certain degree, or core commands to a certain degree. Right, the difficulty is, yeah, somewhat overstandard over here. We do have the rough terrain. We can see here our defensive positions, yeah, 20, 14, not exactly anything amazing. We do need to continue to dig in. That's the most advantageous thing we can do. When we have level 2 fortifications here, 68% way into level 3, yep, okay, 4% over here. 16% here, was it? Yeah. We definitely do need additional forces here. I think this is the blow that we need to block. Ultimately, I need to shield the cities over here. What does interest me is really the amount of fuel that the Axis forces may in fact have. There has been some talk actually from the team at large about potentially a Soviet counteroffensive in this area, which could actually be a very interesting option. Perhaps the forces of Army Group South are going to be funneled towards this position. If we use our strength here in the north, it could be quite advantageous to potentially try and cut some of the rail lines or potentially make his life harder. Though reinforcements would come, I'd imagine. If we take a look at the rest of the front end for the time being, we can see some back and forth action over here. Seems like the airborne brigades have been moved forward to just see some ground preemptively. Okay. Medobesk has fallen, Medobesk. We can see that Smolensk is still standing. Yeah, the Axis have in fact encircled these divisions over here to the north, which is a pretty difficult... yeah, I don't think there's any way to break out from here. Strong divisions. The armor is actually quite important here. I mean, the weakest point is not even very weak. I mean, here we have the 19th Panzer Division. Yeah. There's not much that could be done to break that. It's a very weak line here. I mean, it's singular divisions. And entirely... well, not entirely comprised of divisions either, so that's a fairly weak position. We do see here a potential flaw. Yeah, this is a huge weakness here. I mean, of course, we do have the river. I think it stops about here. Yes. But having lost this river position, that is a strong position that has been lost. So I'd imagine the Axis forces will attempt to surge through here. Especially as we do not have any fortifications here. Nor here. Or here, actually. That swamp is very handy. The river's quite handy. The Finnish forces are surging forward now. Yeah. See, the situation looks fairly bad to the north. I think they will probably hold on. It does definitely depend on what they want to do. Ah, how are you doing there, Lupus? Yeah. That was going rather interesting. I've got to say that of all the fronts, I think we're having the best time right now, which is actually rather fun. Nothing really to be too terribly happy about. We just need to contain this. It looks as though forces from Army Group South are probably being funneled here to the north. Yeah, it looks like the Axis are really pushing here. Hello there, Diligent. How you doing, my friends? Okay. We'll take a look at our command situation, try to assign the corps as best we can. Right, I'll move you forward here. And that would be the 31st Rifle Company. So what we'll do then is, what are you at here? You could take an additional division. What I'll do is actually have the 302nd Mounted Division actually assigned to that corps. So that would be, was it the 31st Rifle Corps? Yes, the 31st. We'll have them assigned to the 31st Rifle Corps. We'll also then take a look at the actual commander there. Okay. Yeah, you're full up on capacity here. He's not too bad. 5 infantry isn't too terrible. I do have some orders here from High Command. Let's take a look at them. Okay, reclaim the Dnieper as our defensive line. Use remaining AP to get some better leaders on the field. Right, look for infantry and morale stats around 6 is okay. Also reorganize armies. Righto. Their forces will probably aim to attack between Chikasi. Right, put the good leaders there. A quick reminder not to put more than 20 command points into an army. You can probably weaken the line around Kiev as the Germans are ignore it and strengthen it to the southeast. Okay, that's good to know. Right. I assume the industry has already been moved to the Urals. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing with the industry. You see, this is the thing, I'm not actually responsible for industry. It seems that some of it remains over here. I'd imagine it's probably been taken from these areas. Never played this game, actually. How does it compare to Warner Pacific Admiral's Edition? Well, it's significantly less complex, but it's really fun, actually. I'd say it's probably the easiest get a Grigsby to actually, get a Grigsby game to actually get into, really. You have a huge expanse here, which seems overwhelming, but in reality it does give you a lot of options. Hell of a lot of options. I do prefer War of the Pacific. Definitely do, because obviously the great depth and complexity, but this game is no slouch either. Okay, so let's take a look at what we can actually take from the field then. Now, it's a difficult question because I don't want to sacrifice too much here in the north around Kiev. Though, if Germans are supposedly going to be ignoring it, it's not really doing us very much good either. I think what we'll do then is we'll see what we can do, what we can stabilize with our forces here in the area. Yeah, sure, ask a question, feel free. Right. I think we'll use the cavalry here. Could we actually sever? Right, seems there is. Yeah, feel free to ask a question, there's no reason not to. It looks as though there's potentially a unit here. Yeah, that seems about right. I could still cut off this motorized division, but the thing is, it wouldn't really do me too much good. It could be accomplished, but it's a lot of effort to cut off one division. I think what we're going to do here then is, see, so Odessa, yeah, Odessa's fallen, unfortunately. That's a shame. Right, well, we knew that was going to happen at some point anyway. I think what we'll do here then is... Indeed. We are fortifying this hex. Right. It's a difficult question because the infantry here is going to be a turn away. They will arrive at this area pretty easily next turn, give or take. So the question is, how do we fall back? I can fall back to this position here, but I do need the infantry elsewhere. Did you ever beat the Soviets in the Hearts of Iron 2 Darkest Hour Total Realism Project? God, no. God, no. I'm just not that good at Darkest Hour to beat the Soviets in Total Realism Project. It's just, I don't know. I can never beat the Soviets. I just think it's the amount of divisions they get. I'm just really bad at actually pulling off pockets. Oh dear. Okay, what we'll do here then. Pull the airborne brigades down here to the south. We do have 7 front headquarters here. Right. Okay. I think this is all we'll do for the defense here of the south. Should he actually attempt to encircle it, that's fine, we'll be able to cross back across the Dnieper here. Those ready divisions are probably going to be on the back foot at least until 10-18. I think it would be a sound strategy to retreat the Southern Army behind the Dnieper and use this as a natural barrier. That's true, but what I'm thinking here is, for example, we hold on just with these units here, just on this, I suppose, the corner. Call it this 90-degree angle, whatever you want to call it as. The reason for that is these troops then do not surge forward. He's definitely moving his forces over here, so what we'll do then is actually move the cavalry. Now, I can't really threaten his flank here, I would be enveloped quite easily. So I think what we'll do then is we'll take the actual cavalry. I mean, infantry would be the best to actually hold this city here. But let's see. We do have some fantastic defensive terrain here to the south. We'll move our cavalry then to challenge his positioning. Yes, it is very thin here. I mean, of course, we do need to find additional corps headquarters to actually beef our troops up. We do have some additional reinforcements to come, thankfully. But we are going to... Well, I might... Okay, what I'll do here, for deployment of these forces, we'll pull back an additional infantry division. Right, you can't make it from here, unless you moved onto the rail system. Now, could I do that? It's questionable. Let's see, you're here, you could move onto the rail. So let's see, can you move... via rail here? Yes, you can. Okay, so we'll move you via rail to this position. Oh, damn it. Okay, go back there. We need, obviously, the points to get off the train. Move you up the system here. I have taken you off the line. You can't really move too much further, but we'll have you just in the south of the city then. I think we could try the same here, though I don't think we'll have too much movement. 12 here. How much do we need to get off the train? 15, okay. So there's zombie. Things are alright. I mean, for us, it's actually not too bad at all, really. For everybody else, yeah, completely different story. Well, I'll pull this division back as well. They can obviously be put to some pretty good use. Yeah, he could definitely try to cut off this army here. The thing is, though, Crimea is still to the south, so we still have an avenue of escape. I may take an additional cavalry division just to cover this area here to the rear. But it really would then divide his attention to the north. Crimea doesn't particularly matter too much. If we take a look over here then. So what I'm basically building here, let's bring up the actual colours. So we do have a light holding force about here. What I'd think maybe could be done, is potentially have maybe a division placed here. But I don't think that'd be entirely necessary. The idea would be that it would be here just to allow for cutting off German forces, or at least allowing breakouts. Though I don't think it's necessary. I think what we can see here at the moment, if I'm going to use black, we can see that the main Axis push is definitely aimed down here. This is where he's trying to break through. It seems as though the Axis push towards Kiev is actually not the priority here. Which is understandable considering that we do have a formidable defense here. So I think what we need to try and do here then, first and foremost, is going back to the red. Establish ourselves with a defensive position here. The strong point being, of course, the city. Ideally, I could do something like this, but I don't have a huge amount of men for that. So what I'm going to seek to do is primarily strengthen this area. If I can, I'd like to try and spread troops out somewhat like this. But I don't know if that'd been possible. We do have additional forces that we could bring down to the area. As well as additional forces like we brought here. And up over here. Of course, we do need to be somewhat careful about the placement of units. We do want to try and ensure some security along the river here. We can't just put everything here and expect it to hold. It will probably fall. Perhaps even small divisions or small forces to hold onto the cities here just to occupy them. So then at least they would not immediately fall or be captured. So we'll take a look at that. So that's going to be the general plan here. We'll just have to try and make sure it actually can be done. I do have another airborne brigade here. They could be sent down here to the south to obviously reinforce the area. It's a difficult one. I mean, I could reinforce this position here, which I'm actually going to do. At least then it does give us additional security here. I could pull this division, the cavalry division. It's a difficult question. Let's see. Right, I think that's probably going to be the most I can do here. So at least we've actually lengthened the line to some degree. We also, if forced back, will fall back across the river. This rail line is going to be cut off inevitably anyway, so there's no point holding it. Part of me thinks, do we want our strength below this line here? But if we're actually cut off from the north, then we're cut off from the majority of the Soviet Union anyway, and the majority of our strength. So the forces that would be deployed below this line, should we be cut off, would be inevitably annihilated. As well, you know, you will get a fair number of brigades for rear guard fort building anyway. Yeah, that'd be brilliant right now. So we are going to move the armor to the actual north, actually. I don't know how particularly good it'll be. It doesn't seem amazing right now. Of course, they're being refitted. I mean, this division here, 467 armoured vehicles, 151. Quite a large difference. We'll place the 218th Motorised Division here. We still then have additional cavalry, which I'm going to use to actually beef up this side here. Now, I could place a unit here. I think what we need to do is ultimately make the Axis fight for every bit of ground. It will force them to use valuable movement. So what I'll do is take the 34th, which actually can't make it. So we'll use the 30th Cavalry Division here. Okay. Seize this position to the south. Now we'll have the 9th Cavalry Division move this position here across the river. Okay, that leaves us with the additional division. So we'll move that infantry division down here. Now, it's a difficult question because I do need to oppose the Axis over here. Right, reinforce this city. Right. Might be worthwhile to actually reinforce behind the lines. As well, right, rifle brigades that is, couldn't that force in the south fall back to the two river straits that access to the Crimea? If they are cut off there is. Oh, absolutely, we'd still have a way out through the Strait of Kerch. We could even pull back to Sevastopol and actually exit via amphibious means, or basically naval means. But ultimately, what I want to do is still put up something of a defense and make the Axis fight. Okay. I think perhaps we reinforce this part of the line first and foremost. I can draw some troops away, but not huge amounts of them. Perhaps the 45th tank, but they can't move too far. We'll bring our reinforcements in and then we'll go from there. I do have the 261st, but unfortunately not close enough. Now, we are on the wrong side of the river, so it would be probably worth our time to fall back here. So what we'll do then is we'll fall back with this division here. Now, what I could do is actually use this cavalry division then. I think a good idea would obviously to build up entirely on the bank of the river. Obviously, we'll be able to increase our strength here by reassigned forces. This does weaken this position here, but I think what we'll do then is take the 293rd, have them shifted down the line here. Hold that town. Right. have a 102nd Rifle Division reinforce this position here. Yeah, we do need to have these forces reassigned. Okay, let's go back to finding cores then. Okay, first airborne corps. There we go. Hello there, Nuauza. How are you doing there, my friend? One more division. We are holding this city here, Chikasi. I wonder. Right, these divisions are actually fairly formidable. Ultimately, I'd like to draw away infantry. Okay, what we'll do then is I'm going to take the motorized here. I'll move the armoured to the 13th Division to the front line over here. Right, so that leaves us with 2 additional motorized divisions, just for the moment in time. Now these divisions are actually fairly decent as well, which is a good thing. So I think what we'll do here then is we could potentially move them. It really depends where we want to reinforce. Is it worthwhile to reinforce this area? But what I'll do is I'll bring in the reinforcements first and foremost. Think we could get a glance at the rest of the front? Yep, sure. Yeah. Well, you say that, to be honest, but this is really good. The axis should have been much further than this by now, I'd imagine. Right, the other fronts are having some interesting times. And the main push is unfortunately around here after this pocket has been created. But I really fear the push here to the north is probably going to be the one that's effective, or most effective. Considering that they do have a means across the river. Indeed. Alright. I think what we need to do then is bring our reinforcements in first and then see what we can bring from the line over here. Okay, we do have a couple divisions to bring, which is quite nice. I think we'll double stack over here if we can do. The reason for that is at least it gives us a little bit of tenacity. Okay, actually, I'll hold this position. Right, this core will come in really handy. I have plenty of cores that I now really do need to find use for them. Okay, so this is the 2nd Cavalry Corps. So these forces in this area will be assigned to the 2nd Cavalry. River's command will also be sent north. Yeah, I know, right? It's not exactly great, is it? Okay, so this core is actually over capacity at the moment. But what we'll do is obviously assign our forces elsewhere to other commands. I'm just trying to find here just core commands really at the moment. I have coastal command, which is interesting. I like that. I don't believe these men can actually evacuate. They could if they made it here, but I doubt they will. We do have level 2 fortifications, so at least that is something. We'll just have to hold on for the time being. Ninth Army, move you here for the moment. Okay. These forces here will be assigned to the 3rd Airborne. I'm really hoping I don't run out of actual administrative points. Third Airborne. Okay, take these men off the trains. So that would be the 5th Cavalry Corps. There we go. This will actually improve the effectiveness of our forces if they're actually under something akin to proper command. Black Sea Fleet Air Command. I honestly do not have enough core command. That's an issue that we have here. Right, I'll take you the 55th Rifle. Ever thought of using the colour picker from army commands, or is it better to leave them in the armor group format it's in now? I mean, we could obviously use the colour, basically colour them as we wished. It's just, I wish it was one of those where you could actually see the colours rather than just input the actual numbers for red, blue, and etc. Any reason you choose not to cut off that motorized division for a turn? Well, the fact is, yeah, we could cut it off. The 10th motorized could be cut off. There's a unit here, as far as I'm concerned, because we can't actually move into that hex. Which indicates unit here. We can't see it, but there's probably something there. The thing is, we have, what, 3 SS motorized divisions? 1, 2... an additional 2 motorized divisions there, yeah. 2 panzer divisions, another motorized division... Cavalry, there's a lot of force here, so these forces would then just be cut off themselves. If you don't want the colour purple or pink, you change it to dark red or black. Aye, could do. Okay, so 55th Rifle. If we have the points remaining, we'll obviously then pick better commanders. Right, that's a lot of administration there. There probably is. Probably something like that. Okay, your other division's assigned over here. Have you assigned to a corps nearby then? Right. I may have to make use of, obviously, army commands. Okay, the infantry here. Move them to this position. Have you assigned to the 55th? Okay. Move back as far as you can. You don't actually... yeah, no support guns, so that's not an issue. Okay, we do still have 2 cavalry divisions remaining here. Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And if you guys want to actually find some interesting colours, then do let me know. We can change the actual colours. No issue with that one. Okay. I really do need something here, otherwise he will just rock on up. If you think about it, the whole invasion by Germany and the defense of the Soviets was very similar to the first big victory for Hannibal over Rome. That's an interesting comparison. I like it. Bold. Actually, probably not the best move. Might as well have them on the front lines. Question is where? Right, it's not the best, but I'll have you assigned to the 55th for the moment. Right, 29th Army. Kharkov military district. Yeah, we got a nice amount of rail capacity to use, which is good. Right, have you assigned to the Kharkov military district? Right. Okay, at least we have another corps command, that's fantastic. Ah, that's the air command, never mind. Right, we'll have them assigned to the Kharkov military district unless a corps command can be found. Have you assigned to the 49th? Okay. I suppose so. Now, we do have them motorized. I feel it may be worthwhile to actually, yeah, this area definitely needs reinforcements, to be honest. Right, for the time being, we'll have you assigned to the Kharkov military district. It's not perfect by any means at all. But at least it does mean we have actual command of the area. Where's 9th Army? Yeah, 9th Army is all the way over here. You're assigned to 7th Front at the moment. Right. I mean, these forces here are unready. There's genuinely no point having them on the front. They won't last. Oh, I've been assigning them to the wrong army, haven't I? 29th army is what I need. To a 9th army. Okay, at least that is improving their combat potential. By no means perfect. Could be pretty much worth our time to see if we have a leader. God, that dismissal cost us too much. But his infantry command is pretty decent. He's actually a fairly okay commander. Yeah, he'll actually do. I do have 26 army over here. We'll have them assigned to 26 command. There we go. Right, good within range. Yeah, we are seeing infantry along the rest of the line, along with the Romanian and Axis allies. But they're not terribly threatening. Thankfully so. I'm quickly running out of administrative points here. But I do need to make sure everybody is assigned here. Okay, I could probably spread this infantry out, which is nice. Infantry is obviously significantly better at holding. Yeah, we can spread these out. Okay, that'll give us an additional 2 cavalry divisions to use over here, actually. What I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to go with a forward deployment. Move our division there. This one here. And this one here. Now, at least for the forward deployment in this section here. Now, the fort is only 34% complete, but having the rough terrain does actually give us something of an edge. So at least we'd be able to have a difficult spot for them to brush up against. What's your guess as to where the Panthers go after they cross the river? Well, ultimately, I'm sure they'd love to go and take this, but I mean, they could try to do that, but I don't think it'd be worth their time. Ultimately, what they need to do is encircle our forces here. That's what they need to do. But I'd say Kharkov is their principal aim here. The reason being, I do believe that we do have T-34 production. Yep, T-34 production here. So Kharkov is more than likely the principal aim, which is why I'm reinforcing this area most. And we'll attempt to do so. Okay, 26 could only take 1 additional command. Have you assigned? Okay. Move these divisions here for the moment. Okay, we need an additional army command. I do have the... well, obviously that's the Kharkov. We do have 38th Army. You're currently assigned to Stavka. We'll have you assigned to the Kharkov military district. Okay. Now I do have 2 additional divisions here, which I'm going to bring down to this area. Question is where? I think possibly holding these 2 towns here to the rear could be a good idea. So we'll do that. The reason is, yes, we are taking forces off the front line, but it does mean that we do have a strategic depth, or at least a operational depth. Right, we are somewhat overburdened here. We'll have you assigned to the 29th Army. Yeah, I'd rather have forces here to the rear, so that at least if the Axis do break through, they can't just immediately steam on. Right, we're only down to 5 administration points here. There we go. Spread these divisions. And this would be the 38th. Okay, the 45th Tank Division could be made ready. Okay, we do only have 5 administration points now. I think we do need this area reinforced. Let's see, do we have any additional reinforcements to come? I actually do. I do have some armor and motorized here, thankfully. Question is, how do we use them? 10,000 men here. Actually. Twenty-ninth. I need to reinforce this section here. This is a section that really matters. Should they push on here, we do have a little bit of operational depth, with some decent divisions in urban hexes, well, just basically towns. But at least we do have that depth, while as here, it would definitely split the forces in half, so we do need to be quite careful of that. I do have an additional 2 Panda divisions? Armor divisions. I think what we'll do is reinforce this section. Again to the 29th for the moment. Though perhaps they could be shifted to the 26th command. I think for the moment it'll be okay. Perhaps take the 47th, shift them here. I do have a Volga military district command there. Can't use that. Right. You know what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take the airborne brigades here. Actually have them go out and seize this rough terrain. The reason for that is we actually do see some decent positions that could be held. Actually. Okay, I'm going to go out on Olympia. Well, actually, probably not the best idea. Just have you shift down here for the time being. Doesn't really impact that much, but also does mean we have... I'm doing this really so that we actually have a position to launch from. Now, I'm half tempted to actually launch an attack here. I think we might give it a go. We might give it a go. We might actually be able to take it. At least force them back. So we'll give it a go. Yeah, we do force the 1st Hungarian Motorized Brigade back. Do we have any information here I can gather? I'll send out some reconnaissance. If I know what that is, I might be able to do something. Right. See, I know there's a headquarters there, but I don't know what else is there. If it was something like a brigade, like Hungarian, then I might have actually been tempted to push somewhat forward. But I think for the moment here, we'll wait. We have managed to actually score our first victory there. But I don't think it's worth actually moving from the Dnieper for the moment. No, without further information, of course. Now, we do have 2 motorized divisions I've freed up. I think what we may do is have one of them moved here, and another one moved potentially here. Though, maybe one here and one here. This position's okay, but it's not exactly the strongest, is it? I'm not going to move everything down here because I don't think it's worthwhile, but I think we do need to make sure we hold here. Our positions here are fairly weak. I mean, our positions aren't exactly great all over. Actually, no. 22, 20, 16, 13, obviously 3 here. 2, well, 4. Oh, never mind. Yeah, pretty weak. There's not terribly much I can do about that. I could bring another cavalry division. I think that's the most I could risk. I'd like to reinforce this area. I'll reinforce this position next to 26th Army. Okay, we're going to bring down the motorized. Okay. The 213th being the stronger. I think here. I think this is where we need to reinforce if this is all we can reach. Okay. Have these forces reassigned to the 26th Army. Right, there we go. Right, I do have 18th Army here. We'll have these forces reassigned. Kharkov military. '21st Army. Yeah, that's obviously some distance away, isn't it? Yeah, these men are assigned to 21st Army. Yeah, okay. That's definitely something we want to change up in the future. I mean, they're pretty far to the north. Okay. Have one of the divisions here, the 151st, fall back to just dig in here. Right, just have you reassigned somewhere else, just so you're not under a overall command. I also do have 16th Army, which would come in very handy for the future. I'll place them here so I know where they are. 12th Army, another one, too. Right, that's handy. Hello there, Baden, how you doing, my friend? Okay, so we actually did make a small counterattack there. But our forces have been reorganized to a degree. Yeah, I hope they're not going to get angry at me for using too much in the way of administration, but I think we needed it. So, we are going to see gaps in our line. Thankfully I do have an additional division over here. That's great news. It does make me feel a little bit better. I'm half tempted to have one division placed here. Or potentially here. I think something definitely in the centre. It's hard to say where, though. I do think about here. It's going to be in a difficult spot, but I think it would be for the best just to have something here in the centre, just so that there is something. Because if there's no units there, then he's going to obviously be able to make full use of that gap. But I think with that, what about Dan for our part in this turn? Okay, yeah, division. I know, right? Oh dear. Can we hope to see War in the Pacific today? I don't think we'll see War in the Pacific today. I don't believe that THG's actually done his turn as of yet. And I will be heading out to play some D&D tonight. So probably, depending on whenever THG is ready, probably Monday, maybe Tuesday, depends when he's ready. Obviously it would be nice to keep up the rate of progress, but I'm sure we'll be able to get that done. So, thank you so very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope you have enjoyed this. And if you have, please do go ahead and show some support and consider donating to the channel and backing me on Patreon. Definitely helps. So until next time, goodbye for now.